Most people believe Annabelle is just a horror movie character. But the truth is, the real Annabelle doll exists. And the story behind it is nothing like what Hollywood showed you. Over the years, this doll has been linked to disturbing experiences, unexplained fear, and chilling beliefs that still surround it today. By the end of this video, you'll see the real Annabelle and understand why it is considered one of the most feared dolls in the world. Now this story begins in the year 1970. A young woman named Donna received a Christmas gift from her mother. When she opened the box, she found a doll inside. Although Donna was already an adult, receiving a childhood-style gift filled her with nostalgia. She felt an immediate emotional connection to the doll. Just then, Donna's roommate, Angie, walks up to her and asks with a smile, "Why are you so happy? Are you planning to play with it?" Donna looks at her and replies calmly, "Who told you that I'm going to play with it? I'm only going to keep it in my room, nothing more." Hearing this, Angie says nothing and quietly lets the matter drop. Soon Donna became unusually attached to the doll. She started sleeping with it every night. The doll was always placed beside her on the bed. Guys, by this time, Angie was deeply disturbed by one thing in particular, that Donna slept every night with the doll beside her. But this wasn't the only thing troubling her. There were many other strange things happening because of it. And because of all this, Angie finally walked straight into Donna's room. She said, "Donna, what is all this? Like when you sleep, after that sometimes you leave the doll on the floor. Sometimes you place it behind your door. Sometimes you sleep with it. And sometimes you keep it right at the very top of the cupboard. What is all this? Why do you just throw it here and there like this?" For a while, Donna didn't say anything. She just kept staring in a very strange, unsettling way. Then she said, "Whenever I go to sleep, I cuddle it a little, and after that, I always place it inside the showcase." Angie immediately responded, "That can't be true. I wake up before you every day. When I enter your room, the doll is always lying somewhere else. I am the one who puts it back into the showcase." Now both of them were confused. The doll could not move on its own, yet its position kept changing. They decided to ignore it, assuming it was just their imagination. After that one night, Angie was in her room when she suddenly heard Donna screaming. She ran into Donna's room and found her sitting on the bed, frozen in fear, staring at the doll. Angie asked urgently, "What happened?" Donna replied in a trembling voice, "I placed the doll in the showcase before sleeping. When I opened my eyes, it was sitting on the chair and I saw its leg move." Because of this, both Donna and Angie were extremely disturbed. They kept wondering how all these things could possibly be happening when the doll clearly had no life inside it. This would only be possible if the doll were truly alive, or if some spirit was residing within it. And even then, it could happen only through a supernatural soul. It was also possible that some external spirit was responsible for making all of this happen. Otherwise, it was simply impossible. After some time passed, Donna and Angie were returning home from a party. When they reached their house and opened the door, they found a note lying on the floor. When they opened the note and looked at it, it had the words, "Help me," written on it. The writing did not appear to belong to a normal person. It looked as though it had been written by a child. They were completely confused. Who could possibly need help here? Only the two of them lived in this place. So who was asking for help? And who was the one crying out for help inside this house? At that very moment, Donna and Angie lifted their eyes and looked ahead. In the hallway, in the corridor, they saw the doll lying on the floor. By then, they had understood everything, that whatever had been happening around them until now, and whatever had just occurred, was somehow connected. Whoever had written that note surely had some kind of connection with the doll. Before they could think much about it, their telephone suddenly rang and they received a call. It was from their friend, Luis. He was saying that he would come to their house and stay for the night. He requested them to let him stay, explaining that he had run into a bit of trouble and needed a place to stay. So he wanted to come and live at their house for the time being. And then they said, "All right, for tonight, let's just let it stay here." But that was not the real issue. The real issue was what should be done with that doll. After thinking for a while, both of them decided, "For tonight, we'll lock the doll inside the guest room," Donna said. "Let's do that." And guys, since the doll had been locked inside the guest room, they asked their friend, Luis, to sleep outside in the hall, where there was a sofa. After that, everyone ate and drank together, had a good time, and then went to sleep for the night. All three of them were sleeping peacefully. It was already past midnight. Everything seemed calm and normal. Everyone was asleep. Suddenly, once again, a screaming sound was heard. But this time, the scream was not coming from Donna's room, it was coming from Luz, who was sleeping in the hall. At that moment, Angie and Donna both ran toward the hall. When they reached there, they saw that Luis was still lying on the sofa, but the doll was sitting on his chest. Luis shouted and said, "What is all this, Donna? I was sleeping peacefully here, and this doll suddenly climbed onto my chest. I felt as if someone was trying to tear my chest open." While they were talking, he suddenly tried to open his shirt. When he looked inside, there was blood, and there were clear scratch marks on his chest. After that, Luis said, "Look at this. All of this happened to me. And this doll, there is my blood on its hands, too." Seeing all of this, he panicked. He ran away from there, leaving the house in the middle of the night. After that, Angie and Donna started talking about everything that had happened. They felt that whatever was going on, all the blame ultimately pointed to that doll. It was the doll that seemed to be surrounded by dark, evil forces. Then they said that it was seriously something to think about, had somehow appeared in the hall, and that too right on his chest. Both of them then decided that now they really needed to find out what exactly was inside that doll. Every time they looked at it, it felt as if it was either staring at them or lying somewhere nearby. It seemed like the doll was stalking them, constantly watching what they were doing. It felt as though it was aware of their every single move. Along with that, whenever they looked at the doll, it always seemed to be moving, sometimes this way, sometimes that way. It appeared to travel on its own, yet they never knew how. And today it crossed all limits. Today, it even attacked their friend. What exactly is inside this doll? After that, they tried several rituals. Donna and Angie even called some priests who were believed to be capable of communicating with spirits connected to the doll. The priests attempted to make contact with the presence inside the doll. When they finally communicated with the spirit, the truth was revealed. It turned out that there was a spirit living inside the doll, and her name was Annabelle. That was the name of the entity within it. They discovered that the spirit belonged to a 7-year-old little girl who who had died during a construction accident. Her soul had not been able to move on and remained trapped. All of this information became clear to Donna and Angie. After that, the doll conveyed another message. It said that it felt very safe with them. It claimed that it did not want to harm them at all. It only wanted to stay with them. It simply asked for a small room where it could live peacefully. After hearing everything, Donna and Angie agreed. They said, "Okay, you can stay with us as long as you don't hurt us." But after keeping the Annabelle doll with them for a few days, they noticed something strange. Donna and Angie became very quiet. They stopped talking to each other. The whole house became silent. They started feeling that dark shadows were all around them, as if something was always nearby. At first, it felt like there was only one doll in the house, but now it felt like someone was watching them at every step. They felt a presence everywhere. It was watching them and sensing everything they did. Slowly, they also started to feel that presence more and more. All of this was happening because of that one doll, Annabelle. One day, Donna and Angie finally sat down together. Donna said, "We can't live like this anymore. We can't work properly. We can't even talk to each other. We cannot stay in this house." Angie looked worried and asked, "Then what will we do?" After a moment of silence, Donna spoke firmly. "We have to get rid of this doll. We must remove it from our house." Both of them knew that the doll had to go. There was a priest who lived in a nearby church, and I knew him. He agreed to come and take the doll away with him. When he arrived late at night, the priest first sprinkled holy water on the doll, trying to purify it. After performing the ritual, he carefully placed the doll inside his car and drove away. Donna and Angie finally felt relieved and free-minded, believing that the doll was no longer in their house and that everything was over. Just before the priest reached the church, something terrible happened. The car's brakes suddenly failed, and it crashed in a serious accident. The next morning, Donna opened her eyes. As soon as she woke up, she saw the same chair in front of her. The Annabelle doll was sitting on that chair. Now, Donna and Angie had only one choice left. They decided to contact Ed and Lorraine Warren, the same people seen in the Conjuring movies. Lorraine was the first to enter the house. As soon as she stepped inside, she felt something strange. She stopped and said that there was truly something wrong in the house. She explained that she felt it the moment she entered, and this kind of feeling was not normal. Then Donna and Angie showed her the doll. Lorraine sat near the doll for some time, trying to understand it. After a while, she said something frightening. She explained that there was no human spirit inside the doll. Instead, there was an evil presence inside it, something very dangerous. She warned them that the closer they stayed to the doll, the more harm it would cause. It could slowly destroy their lives and even take their lives. Donna, frightened, asked, "What should we do now?" Lorraine replied that they had already decided. She said they would take the doll with them. She explained that they had a special museum in their home where dangerous objects were kept locked away so that no one could go near them. So now it is said that Lorraine kept the Annabelle doll locked inside a special box. That box is designed in such a way that no one can use the doll and no one can open it easily. It is opened only for cleaning purposes, and even then, it is done with strict precautions. In fact, no one even likes to look at it. So guys, this was the story of the most dangerous doll in the world. Some stories are not meant to be disturbed again. And if you want more horror and mysterious stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel.